Thomas Allen Barnes, U.S. Army, September 2nd, 1970 through 2018. Has a nice grave. Look at that. You know, these are not fake flowers. These are fresh flowers. Man. And there's a lot of the graves that are like that. We're here on a Sunday, and for some reason I am in a cemetery. You know, just looked real pretty. Seemed fitting to go with my weekend. You know, somebody being deceased. And boy, look at this. This is a fancy one. It's got a water globe, and look at that. So many pretty flowers. Our angel Fatima Lisette Larios. Yeah, there's some pretty exotic looking ones here. Excuse my walking. If you have motion sickness, do not watch this video. Yeah, look at this guy. Wow. And it's got a windmill. I don't know if that's the back of the windmill or is that the front. And the answer is they look the same. And then look at this. Look at this one. It's all unkept. You know, they went through all of the expense to have this thing built, and yet look at how it is in disrepair. Junk all gathering in here. I wonder if the relatives are the ones required to keep it up. It doesn't seem all that kept up here. You know, I just arrived, so I haven't really taken a close look at it. Oops, I bumped it. I bumped it, but it's going to start blowing again. It's a pretty spread out cemetery. There's a lot of geese here. There's a lot of ducks here because they come over from the lake over here where Dennis the Menace Park is and the baseball diamond. There's a gazillion geese and a gazillion ducks, and they all hang out here in the cemetery. You can see them. They're literally everywhere. Well, there's another windmill. It's kind of a strange looking one. Ah, the poor thing's covered up by gophers. Well, when they bring some more fresh flowers, I guess they better bring a little hand shovel. Oh, and this one, maybe this is next. They're like, well, this is the next person we're gonna plant in here. You know, these are pretty spread apart. So do you really think that there is the entire caskets and stuff in these? Or, oh, they made a doo-doo on there. God. Oh, and you have to be careful when you're walking here because you can see that they do their business. And I'm fortunate today. You know, I was going to do some filming and stuff where I did a lot of walking, and so I put on my dress shoes. I forgot to bring my tennis shoes with me. I normally put them in the car, and then if I'm over in like a beach area or the walking path along the ocean, then I'll put those on instead. And so up here, by the way, I've never ever been to a cemetery ever in my whole 66 years of living on this planet. I have never been to a cemetery. I've never walked in one. Always just driven by. I've been to funerals before, and boy, this grass is really uneven. And oh, there's the fancy section. Oh, look at that. Wow. I want to go over there. So this video may be longer than you guys can handle, but I'm pretty much filming this for me. Everything I'm filming today, and I have filmed a couple other things, they're all for me this weekend. I filmed a video for Cinna. I filmed a video for Valerie. I've filmed videos for the entire group. I've filmed some just for fun. They're silly. And now this one and the other ones I'm filming today are for me. So many of them are unkept. I mean, look at this. These things would be beautiful. I wonder why the people who own this cemetery would let it be in this kind of nasty condition. I mean, even those grass areas where we just walked, they're not very, you know, you can tell that there hasn't been a mower going over them for a while, you know. And there's Catherine Sargent, 1862 to 1946. 1862 to 46. Wow, she lived a long time for somebody who's born in the 1800s. Wow, that's amazing. But yeah, again, we're looking at these things. You know, I mean, it's pretty disgusting that they would have something like this open to the public, and yet the conditions. I mean, I don't know what's the rule at a cemetery. Is it the rule that the family upkeep the section, and they say, family, you need to weed this, and you need to make it look nice and put some flowers on it, because we're not doing it for you. I mean, I don't know, is that really the case? I don't know, maybe some of you know who've been to cemeteries before on what the rules are. But now this is looking pretty fancy over here. Look at this one. You know, there is a name for these kind of structures. I know there's a name for them, and for some reason I can't think of it right now. Probably because, you know, how often are going to use that name? You know, we're gonna go visit so and so in whatever this is. So this is Vito Spadaro, and there is John Spadaro, and these are pretty fancy. You know, if they had to pay for these, which I'm sure they do it themselves, then this cost a pretty penny to have something like this built. You know, because it's got like marble walls, all these statues, vases. It's pretty trippy, you know? And then over here is, now these must be people who, I think, not sure, are they cremated? I don't know, what do you guys think? I suppose that if this building goes deep enough, there might be bodies in there. It goes pretty long. I don't know, can you guys see that? I mean, it goes as long as this other one. You know, I'm walking down here, and it goes, I'm thinking that, you know, why would they build that big of a thing if there wasn't dead bodies in there? God. Oh, man. Oh, and now we're in the busy part of town. Lots of activity in this section. Wow, look at it all. Gosh. Excuse my walking again. You know, anyone who has motion sickness, I'll try to stop more rather than just keep on walking and filming boring stuff. You know, and you know, if you're watching this video and you're like, okay, I've seen enough, you know, go ahead, flip it off, turn on your music. At least you can say, if you're a person who hasn't seen a cemetery, you can now say, I've seen a cemetery, and it's courtesy of Monterey Bill. He brought us to the cemetery to visit dead people. This goes on a long way. And, oh my, this one is not in good condition. It looks so expensive. The poor girl. It's, here, I'm kneeling down. Yeah, see, look at it. Oh my God, that's like a lock. Where you can open this thing like a door and slide the person out. And you're checking to see how you're doing. Oh man, that is so creepy. You know, you'd think you wouldn't want to have a door on there. You know, I mean, once you put him, poor Carmelo, you know, put him in there and let him rest. Really, I mean, what are you going to do? Go in there and dust? Well, we have to dust. We have to check, make sure no rats got in there, you know. So then, you know, then it's like a horror movie, you know. Rats and caskets. And next thing you know, Dracula's going to show up. Oh, this one goes in there far. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm gonna point Monty at it anyways, and you can see that it's really unkept in there. It's a mess. You know, it's got flowers that are all tipped over. Look at this wreath. The wreath is all weathered, and yet look at the structure. Oh, almost fell. Yet the structure is really nice, but it's not kept up. It's all aged. These flowers, I don't even think these flowers are real. Yeah, they look like they're fake. Here's another one where the wreath is just, God. You know, you're going to invest this kind of money into a place to stick people who you were related to, and now they're dead. But you went through the expense of doing all of this, and then just to let it eventually, you know, 100 years from now, these ones that are unkept, bye-bye. Well, what happened to Uncle Joe? Well, nobody was living in the area anymore, so it just dissolved. It's just ridiculous, yeah. So anyways, I came to the cemetery today, like I said, because I've never been to a cemetery, ever. I've driven past this cemetery, you know, a zillion times, because it is right across from the Dennis the Menace Park and the lake. And that's a nice place to have lunch. I had lunch there today, and just parked over there by the lake. Watched all the ducks and geese walking by. Then I did some errands, did some shopping, and now I'm ending my day at the cemetery. Oh my God, is that crazy or what? You guys are like, what is wrong with Bill? He's bringing us to a cemetery. And he seems to be enjoying it. Oh God. There are people here. They have these roads that go all through it. You can see they go all through it. They go all the way to the other. I mean, it's just huge. I mean, you can see. Here, I'll go slower, because my filming is just freaking horrible. God. I have got to learn how to film. Now see, if you have motion sickness, then right now you can view this part, right? Even though it's freaking boring, you can view it probably without getting an upset tum-tum. Yeah, so here we are. I'm now walking on the grass again, so you know, I gotta watch out for the landmines. But like I said, I've worn my dress shoes. You know, with the dress shoe, as soon as I get to the end, of the grass. You know, I'll just like do like that. Make sure there's nothing on there, and it'll be easy to brush it off, just in case I stepped on a landmine. Here they are again, more unkept ones. It's just mind-boggling that, you know, this place, if the city or whoever owns this place did something to this, and it would almost be like a tourist attraction. I mean, it's giant. And if they cleaned all those up and get all the crap off it and get the weeds off of there, this would be beautiful. And it's so surprising to me because, you know, we live here in Monterey and it's tourist oriented, and this is right across from Dennis the Menace Park, which is a major tourist attraction. And with the lake and paddle boats and the actual park with all the rides on it, and this is right across the street from it. You think it looks pretty when you first glance at it. It's, oh gosh, look at all those flowers, honey. Why don't we hop in the car and drive through those roads? You know, then once you get in here, you're like, what's going on? Why can't you show some respect to these people, even if you're not related to them, to just let it become so disgusting, and yet they'll spend money on other things that, you know, that are a complete waste of funds. I can't think of any right now that there is, but of course we know there is. Here's another section, a lot of stones there, not a lot of flowers, lots of weeds. God. Yeah, what the heck is this? Looks like some sort of stone thing from Egypt, but it is George Harris, born March 25th, 1825, died December 14th, 1890, and it says something underneath there that is not in English, at least, you know, Native. Oh, native. Oh, okay. Native of Nantucket, Massachusetts. Ah, interesting. Nantucket. He's from Nantucket. Harris. Yes, this is a nice one. Yeah, and so this one, you know, it could use like some polishing or something to where this stuff is easier to read. I mean, really, I could, you know. Why don't they just hire somebody and say once a year, you know, marble company, go there and make it look nice. Make it look nice like this one. Sort of nice. A lot of gophers out here. I mean, you see these things literally everywhere. See, I mean, look. It's like there's one on so many gravestones where the gravestones are covered up. It's like they're being attacked. You know, they need to do something with this place. I'm not one of those people that has the time to write letters to city governments and stuff like that and go, you need to pave this road, or we need a street light over here, because when I go for my walks at night, I trip over the sidewalk. And oh, there's one of our friends. There we go, Lucy Goosey. Hi, Lucy Goosey. Hi, Lucy Goosey. And the geese and ducks, you know, because there's so many tourists here, and then they feed them when they're over there by the lake. They're not afraid of us humans. You know, if you walk right up to them, of course, then they're going to scoot back. But it's not like they just fly off or anything like that. Oh, look at her picture. It's all sun faded. Gosh. Poor thing. She looks so pretty. Cheers. Exclamation point, cheers. Now this one, I don't know if it's chopped off or if it's supposed to be that way. Poor Catherine, 1947, 2011. And then we got this thing. I don't know what that is. There's some benches around it. Oh yeah, I think there's people in there. Oh yeah, there is people in there. But you can't read it. It's completely unreadable. But there are words on there. There's dates, names, and I could probably only read them if I put this down and got really up close to it. And I have no desire to do that. So, there's another person driving in. I'm going to go over to the road now because it's much easier to walk on the road than it is over here. So I'm that was the geese telling me to get the blank out of here. So yeah, you know, it's like, Bill, why did you film a freaking cemetery? I don't know. I just don't know. I did. It's here. Maybe a lot of it's boring. Who knows? But it has been filmed. Oh, and there's one of the white duck paddle boats. Yeah, they have white ones, and then they have, or that's the swan one. That one's the swan, and then they also have duck ones. They look like a rubber. Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but far away over there, there's a rubber ducky one. No, it's hard. I can see it, but I don't see it through me filming this. But trust me, there are yellow rubber ducky paddle boats in that lake, and it's a pretty big lake. I mean, it goes way over there, right across from the ocean. It goes all this way over to this bridge. When the paddle boaters get to this bridge, they stop because it's blocked off. But then this water continues all the way over to the highway entrance. So it's not a small thing. So if you're a person, you live in this neighborhood over here, and it's a normal neighborhood. It's not upscale like the section I live in. It has a lot of apartment complexes, but it's not a low-life neighborhood. But just think if you lived there and you wanted to get your exercise, and say, today we're gonna walk all the way around the lake, all the way over there. I mean, the lake is, yeah, it's a lake. I was going to call it a river, but it's not a river. It's shaped like a U and goes, you can't see it, but all the way around. It goes all the way around, shaped like a U. So that would be a trek. That would be a trek for sure. So, oh, it is the city. Oh, look at that, you guys. Here, I'm walking, trying not to fall. City of Monterey. El Encinal Cementerio. So what is this, like the Spanish section? I mean, I think a lot of those names, now that I think about it, they were kind of Spanish. So is that what it is? It's a Spanish cemetery? You got me. Remember, I've never done this before, so it's totally new to me. I don't really know what to think about it, other than the fact that it seemed fitting for me to go here today. There's some picnickers and stuff like that. There's a baseball diamond over there. I'm parked. Oh, I almost forgot. I didn't park over there across from the park. I parked over here by the lake. So I'm going to watch for silly tourist drivers, and here comes a couple, so I'm gonna keep an eye out for those guys. So let these two pass. Yeah, and there's none coming in the other direction. So I'm heading over. And don't trip on the sidewalk, Bill. Do not trip. Do not trip. Of course, this video is kind of a trip. You guys are still probably like, what the frack? He's been filming for like 20 minutes. I mean, how much can you say about a cemetery, especially one that's all unkept, you know, and disgusting looking. Okay, so that is your tour of the cemetery. There's some more swans. There's one of the yellow duckies way out there. You can see it. There's a fisherman, and there's people doing fun things. So that is it. That's the cemetery. Perfect thing for my weekend. And now you guys have seen it, unless you stopped watching it.